So this is Yasser Arafat. He was head of the Palestine for many, many years. He is part of the PLO, which is the Palestine Liberation Organization. Most of the leaders that have been in charge of Palestine have been with terrorist organizations. They have been. He was one. So I remember him, actually, okay? There was a lot of death and destruction that happened under him because he is when, I believe, suicide bombers, kids, would put suicide vests on and go into the Gaza Strip, go into a store, step onto a bus, and just blow it up. That's all these kids had. There was nothing they had. You would have thought, I mean, I used to always think, why doesn't he do something to help these children, the Palestinian children? They become so desperate that they at least want their family to have something, so they end up doing this. And they get indoctrinated by their teachers or whoever, but by the Muslim Brotherhood to do this, and then are told that when they die, they will be met in heaven with 72 virgins, okay? So they tell them all this stuff, sort of like what the professors here do, you know, except they haven't, you know, initiated the university students to strap bombs to themselves or anything yet. I mean, just saying, it's really kind of along the same lines if you think about it. It's indoctrinating people into a certain political ideology, and one that is a sick, twisted one. This was a man that was about, the PLO came in and created a bunch of problems. So in 1964, when the West Bank was controlled by Jordan, the Palestine Liberation Organization was established there with the goal to confront Israel. The Palestinian National Charter of the PLO defines the boundaries of Palestine as the whole remaining territory of the mandate. So here's the mandate. So League of Nations, yeah, mandate for Palestine. Other people coming in and saying, here's the line, this is yours. Yeah, it's never worked. Probably because all these outsiders come in. And so the Palestinian National Charter of the PLO defines the boundaries of Palestine as the whole remaining territory of the mandate, including Israel. So they didn't want any of the Jews there. Following the Six-Day War, the PLO moved to Jordan, but later relocated to Lebanon in 1971. People have heard of Hezbollah. Hezbollah, that terrorist organization, is out of Lebanon. Iran pretty much controls all, in the Middle East, controls all these terrorist organizations. The October 1974 Arab League Summit designated the PLO as the sole legitimate representative of the Palestinian people and reaffirmed their right to establish an independent state of urgency. So it wasn't just that they wanted everything. They wanted to annihilate the Jews. So it wasn't that they didn't want to even stick to the mandate, because the terrorist organizations want to annihilate the Jews no matter where they're at. So, and in November 1974, the PLO was recognized as competent on all matters concerning the question of Palestine by the UN General Assembly. So when I tell you the UN doesn't help, they just have they're anti-Semitic. They are. And just watch whenever Israel is at the UN. People get up, walk out. They won't even listen to them. They're rude. They're rude. That's why, again, I don't know why the nursing and medical profession decided to sign on to Agenda 2030. I mean, I guess maybe they're anti-Semite. Those people at the head of National Nurses United, American Nurses Association. Just gotta wonder. So, moving on. So, FATA, this is important, okay, because, well, this is FATA symbol, but again, multi-party. Formerly, the Palestinian National Liberation Movement, FATA, is a Palestinian nationalist and social democratic political party. So now you know everything that's wrong. Democrat socialism. It'll take every country into disaster. It is the largest faction. Yes, faction. Our founders of America knew they talked many times. If you go on foundersarchives.gov and just put in factions, just read what they all had to say about the dangers of factions. And we have a lot of them. We have a ton of associations that are factions. And what are factions? I've said it before. They are special interest groups influencing the government. It is the largest faction of the Confederated Multi-Party Palestinian Liberation Organization, the PLO, and the second largest party in the Palestinian Legislative Council. This is the Fadin from Fatah, and I said what Fatah is. It's the Democrat Socialist Party that's aligned with the PLO, and the PLO, what did they want? They want everything that's in the mandate, but for nothing for Israel. So for them to not exist. So many people, and I would say that's what the professors here like to push in the classroom, is that the Palestinians, they're freedom fighters. Yeah. No, if their leaders, okay, weren't terrorists running Palestine, then their children wouldn't be so desperate as to go put suicide vests on and go into Gaza Strip and off themselves and a bunch of people around them. Okay? Many of these people get forced into this. They have nothing. It's horrible because their government, much like ours, but of course we don't live as badly as many of these people did, especially then. I don't know if it's better now, but everybody wants to blame Israel. No, blame the government. Blame the government. The government is Hamas. So I just thought I'd throw this up current. So, I mean, Palestine is in there. Palestine, basically, what happened is that Palestinians are Arabs. Some of them are Christian, you know, just like in every country. But they're Arabs. But if you have the PLO come in and start wearing their black and white scarves and saying we're freedom fighters, we want the Jews gone. What are the Jews supposed? And then they start actually, you know, sending suicide bombers in to kill them, and then that's how this war continues. Okay. Now, obviously, part of the problem I think has been, and so here, let me explain Hamas, because in case I didn't. If I did, I'm repeating myself. Hamas is an Islamic resistance movement. That's what they are. It is a Sunni Islamist political and military organization currently governing the Gaza Strip of the Palestinian territories. While it is headquartered in Gaza City, it also has a presence in the West Bank, in which Fatah, which is the Democrat Socialists, exercises control. It is widely considered to be the dominant political force within the Palestinian territories. So that is the problem. It's the Democrat Socialists there. Look at what happens in socialist society. They fall into poverty. They fall into destruction because the governments that are for socialist, Democrat socialism are out of their minds. They usually just want to have the power control while they carry on that they're there to help you. So, I think with Golda Meir, who was the former prime minister of Israel, she just tried to say that this isn't about land, and it's not, because there's been so many throughout the years different negotiations. Everybody thinks Israel's taking all this land. No, they've also given land to them just to have peace throughout. Nothing is ever enough for them, because again, these are terrorist organizations that are being run by the UN, League of Nations, and your Democrat Socialist Party. So no wonder there's never peace there. But there was with the Abraham Accords, something Democrat Socialists hate.